Hello and welcome to Mouse Droplet Gaming. 6180 The Moon is a platformer which plays a bit differently to other games. It's a game that was developed by Turtle Cream and was previously released on PC. I played this version on the Xbox One. The game doesn't really have much of a story, but being a puzzle game, it doesn't really need to have one. You play as a little white orb-like moon. You find yourself having to guide your moon through various stages to find the sun. I liked how there wasn't much forced on you and you could just simply enjoy the gameplay mechanics for what they are. As you move through the stages there's limited ledges, and instead you swap between the top and the bottom of the screen by jumping. It's an odd mechanic that I haven't really recently seen in games, and I felt like it was good because it was exciting and kept things fresh. The game looks fairly basic in terms of style, and at first it seems like there might not be much to the game. What the game does well is keep you interested throughout its duration. After doing some research into the game, I saw that it actually won Best Indie Game at 2014 Tokyo Game Show. As I said before, the aim of the game is to find the sun. You travel through two various locations, which has its own chapter in a game with 10 levels. In each stage you play, you have to get past various obstacles to reach the end target. Every chapter has a short cutscene with small amounts of dialogue. This was good as it added a bit more interest to the overall experience and helped set the tone of the game. The first thing when starting the game is getting used to how you control and maneuver your way through each level. The gameplay is unique and feels fresh. It's extremely well implemented into the whole game and well considered. You can't die from falling, but there's plenty of other ways you can die, like spiked ledges. There are also checkpoints throughout stages, and they come in the form of glowing white squares. You simply have to move over one of these and have your progress saved. The game does get pretty tricky at times, and throughout the game the challenges do become more troublesome. There is a power-up in the game that I enjoyed. You first get this in the Venus stages. The ability means you can stop in midair when you press the B button on the controller. You can then head downwards until gravity sends you falling. There are also ledges and blocks that come in and go during some levels. These offer some very challenging gameplay moments. There are some blocks that have green outlines. These explode and cause you to fly off in certain directions. You can also come across various breakable blocks. The game is all about finding the path through each stage to reach your goal. I like how the gameplay is simple, thoughtful, and most importantly rewarding. You control a white orb with the left analog stick, the A button and the B button. The controls are limited, but that's good because the stages themselves prove challenging enough. It can certainly take a lot of practice to master navigating your way through each stage. Most of the puzzle solving is down to correctly moving and positioning yourself and timing the perfect jump. The presentation of the game is very simplistic. It uses a black and white theme that feels like a retro arcade game. It's hard to say whether it was design choice to make the game look that way, but I certainly enjoyed it. The game is mainly focused on the solid gameplay mechanics. I only had a few issues with the game, the main thing being that it's a little bit repetitive after a while. Also, the game is pretty short, but length doesn't have to necessarily equate to a game being good or not. Sometimes I like a game that offers a shorter experience, when we're surrounded by games like Fallout and The Witcher 3 that are huge in length. I would have liked to have seen a bit more variety in terms of gameplay and possibly other power-ups. This would have kept things more interesting and kept gameplay fresh. Overall, 6180 The Moon is a decent game with a unique twist on platforming. The game is pretty short with little story, but I enjoyed the style of the game and the sound design suits the game well. It's not a game that's going to blow you away, but it's certainly a game that's worth checking out if you want to play a platformer that offers something a little bit different. For more game reviews, stick with Mouse Droplet Gaming, and I'll see you next time.